Greetings. We begin by acknowledging that the CSUMB campus sits on unceded Rumsen Ohlone land. I'm Dr. Umi Vaughn, and this is a presentation by the Center for Black Student Success. Our center is all about attracting Black students to CSUMB, helping them to succeed toward graduation, and making sure their experience here is a satisfying, joyful one. In order to do that, we provide a few different kinds of resources. We have a mentorship program called the Mandala Mentorship Program. We offer research opportunities through the African American Heritage Research Collaborative, where students can research alongside expert faculty members. We offer financial support to buy books, supplies for your classes, even attend professional development workshops, student conferences, and that kind of a thing. We also provide signature programming, a group of series that offer presentations in the arts, in business, also a series, the one that we are presenting tonight, the Black Money Matters Financial Literacy Series, where students are exposed to techniques, good habits to help them work with their money and make their money work for them. Make sure to check out our archive of past presentations on YouTube. Also join us, follow us on Instagram. We have a lot of interesting, ideas and thought-provoking stuff that we put up there to keep people engaged. And if you can, also donate. Your contributions financially help us put on the programs that we do, help us keep helping African American and African diaspora students at CSU Monterey Bay. Tonight's presenter, I'm very, very excited about. I first met this brilliant gentleman as a gifted choreographer, as a wonderful dancer. And it was only later that I learned of this expanded skill set, which has him as a trained person trained in economics. And so he's going to share with us today some ideas about money, what it means to have wealth, techniques to build wealth, et cetera, et cetera. Let's welcome Mr. Byb Bibene. Welcome.
Hey, hello. Thank you. Hi, brother Humi. Thank you. Hi, everybody. Thank you for having me on this platform. Amazing. And I'm excited to be here to share with you some of my research and some of the work I do in the community, helping families and helping individuals with their any financial needs, because I believe it's important for us to build not just a family, but also a community. And finance is one of the tools we have open to us.
Yes. I'll be right here listening along, and I may ask a question or two along the way. I want to invite audience members to light up the chat with your questions about your own particular financial situation or curiosities, or also about Mr. Bibene's, expertise and life experience as regards to finance, etc. All right, take it away, B.
All right, everybody. We are here today to talk about money, and our topic is Black Money Matters. And my name is Byb Bibene. So, as the slide is coming on, you can see the title, my title, I call myself the financial artist. There is a reason why I call myself the financial artist. As you can see right underneath, it's a BSMF and MFA. That just stands for Bachelor's in Science, Economics, and Master's in Finance and Master's in Fine Arts. I am from the Republic of Congo, that's in Central Africa. I'm an immigrant in this country. So when I came to this beautiful country, I had to go through the process of, like many immigrants, learning the language and eventually embracing this culture as my own. And as I became, as I like to joke, as I became Black when I moved to this country, which is a beautiful thing, and I had to contribute. So my goal was to contribute to this contribute to this beautiful country, and also help the people around with my knowledge, the knowledge that I acquired from being to school, being a student in finance. And eventually at the part I'm going to talk now is the MFA coming out here. I did my master's in fine art here because I'm also a performing artist. I was just one of the students who loved to do everything that was open to me in school. I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I'm an actor, and also I'm a dancer. I'm a choreographer. I have a dance company. I also direct a festival. So I do a lot of things in the art industry here in the Bay Area. And eventually, I use my financial background to help people, because I noticed in the communities when I moved in the Bay Area that financial literacy was an issue, and financial literacy rate was low when we look at statistics. So I made it my duty, and I made it my crusade to have family, to encourage people to be financial literate. So doing so, I do so by providing solutions, not just talking about it, but I provide solutions, and I encourage people to know their money and know how to change their relationship with money, and eventually with all the feelings that come with the money topic. Okay, so if we can face it, we can do better. So I am a financial planner, I'm a financial educator, and also, as I would say, performing art and a community organizer. As a financial professional, I'm licensed. So everything I do in finance is legal. I'm licensed with the state of California. You can see on the slides, you have my titles and also my contact information. So if one of you had a questions, please don't hesitate to call me, shoot me an email. And also, I have my office in San Jose. However, these days, since COVID hits, most of my work is online. I do Zoom. So this platform is a bit new to me, because I'm used with Zoom, where I can see my audience. But no matter what, even if I can see you, but I can feel you. So please light up the chats. For any questions as I go for my presentations. So let's look at the second slide. What we have here in the second slide.
Okay, a lot of suckers at you with the money, and you can't be no sucker at you with your money.
Bro, I ain't no sucker. Bet you I don't.
Okay, what's assets?
Assets are things that bring money into your bank account.
What's liabilities?
Liabilities are things that take money out your bank account.
Entrepreneurship is the act of becoming an entrepreneur. What's entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship is a process of setting up a business or businesses.
Taking on a greater than normal
financial risk.
What's an entrepreneur?
Entrepreneur is a person that organizes and operates a business or businesses.
Also taking on a greater than normal
financial risk.
What's financial mean?
Money.
And what's risk mean?
Chance.
Come on. What does it mean to own stock?
When you own a share of a company.
Come on. What's real estate investing?
Real estate investing is when you invest in a immovable property.
What's the two types of real estates?
Commercial real estate and residential real estate.
What's commercial real estate?
Commercial real estate is property for businesses and workspace, like an office, store, and land.
And what's residential real estate?
Property to live on, like a house, apartment, or condominium.
Come on. It comes with extra fees when you have real estate. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Daddy tells you how many times he pays his state property tax a year.
Once a year.
What's the type of maintenance fee?
Cutting grass.
Come on. What's HOA?
Homeowner Association.
And what comes along with that?
HOA fee.
Come on. And when it comes to the brokerage percent, what percent is that?
7.
Come on. What's equity?
Equity is the difference between what your business is worth minus what you own.
Also assets minus
liabilities and debt.
Good job. What's credit report?
Credit report is like a report card letting you know how well you did by paying your money back you borrowed.
And how does credit affect your life?
The better you keep your credit, the more opportunities you will have to get funding.
And what large purchases like?
A car or a house.
Come on. And always repay what you
owe.
Because if you owe somebody, that means you're in
debt.
And you never want to be in
debt.
Because that means you
owe somebody.
And we don't never owe
somebody.
Because that ain't what suckers do, period. Come on.
Yeah, man.
Amazing, amazing. We can go to my next slide. Okay, so I showed that video. I came across this video a few years ago. I found it was just outstanding to see this black father teaching his son about financial literacy. So the son is pretty well equipped with financial knowledge, and I bet that this little gentleman, as I'm speaking, should be financially set or know all the contour of finances, all right, and knows probably how to has a great relationship with money. Okay, so now what is financial literacy? So this is where I get to ask everyone, if there was a volunteer to have someone to answer this question, what financial literacy is to you. But please don't hesitate to put in the chat what's your definition of financial literacy. However, I'm gonna pull up a definitions I'm gonna read for you, and eventually there is not just one simple single definitions. You know, it can be everything around money, about money management, but this is the definition I have for you, and I have highlighted a few words in yellow that will be kind of the foundation of what we everybody gotta think about and go reflect on and work on improving. So financial literacy here is just the ability to understand and effectively use various financial skills, including personal financial management, budgeting, and investing. So financial literacy is the foundations of your relationship with money, and it is a lifelong journey of learning. The earlier you start, the better off you will be. I'm going to read that again. The earlier you start, the better off you will be, because education is the key to success when it comes to money. Amazing. So I am here at the Monterey Bay university here, and I think I'm speaking to students. If my audience, you got students, if you're not, so if I may assume you guys are in your 20s, it just means that you guys are said to be wealthy. And I'm going to say, if you utilize all the tools that I'm going to share with you, and if you keep it long term, you improve your financial habits and really implement the information, implement the knowledge, I can tell you, in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, if you wanted to retire early, if you wanted to achieve financial freedom, you may, okay? Well, if you wanted to achieve financial success, you may achieve it, and you will achieve it, because it's not that difficult as we think. It just requires a little bit of discipline and sticking to the implementation of the knowledge, and we are gonna get there. Let's go to the next slide, please. So here I have a list of questions, and eventually, if don't hesitate to put in a chat, don't hesitate to read the question for yourself. I'm gonna read it for you and answer for yourself as well. My first question is, are you scared of money? The reason why I'm asking this question, because I have met people in countless times, in many instances, where they're not willing to have a conversation about money, because money comes with lots of feelings. Either it's insecurity, people behave some kind of way when you start having a conversation about money. So this is also a question you can ask yourself when you are with your friends. Okay, when you hang out with your friends, among the conversations you guys have, do you ever talk about money? So another question here: do you like money? I will let that answer for you. What does that mean to like money? Or do you love money? What does that mean to love money? Is it that you live for money or you don't live for money? And what is exactly money to you? Okay, so, and another question is, what are your spending habits? I'm asking this question for you to reflect on your spending habits, because the spending habit is is part of what's gonna help you actually build a good relationship with money. So when I talk about spending habit, I'm talking about the positive habits and also the negative habits. Okay, so what do you actually do with your money when you make your money? Are you all spending your money? So those are spending habits. Or do you save your money? And then I'm talking about saving habits. So you gotta weigh in, on your scale, either you want to develop more saving habits or saving and investment habits or spending habits. We know when you spend money or spend more than you earn, actually, that going to take you to a pitfall. So what are your spending habits? That's also ask yourself a question and reflect on the question that you ask after you ask yourself that question. So now, do you want to retire someday? Eventually, not everybody want to retire, whatever retirement means. For me, retirement is being able to take a break one of these days if you wanted to. Okay, so you're not working until you age 80, you age 90. And then when I say working, a lot of us want to work, which means serve the community. I want to serve my community till my last day. But however, if I feel tired, I want to take a vacation, I should be able to take a vacation. If I want to take a 1 year off to take for self-care and mental health, I should be able to take it. But however, there is no way you can take a year off if you don't have enough money saved for that retirement. All right. So if you want to retire someday, okay, great. So now the next question: what age and how much money do you want to have to retire peacefully? Another question that you have to ask yourself: we need options, right? We need options. The option is to be free, to be free. Okay, freedom options. All right, freedom to rest, freedom to sleep. Right. So that's something you may reflect on and think about. See how is that working for you and how you are planning that. So now the other question is about, what is financial freedom to you? Do you want to achieve it? Think about it. What is generational wealth to you? And this is particularly important to me because we're talking about, black money matters. Black money matters here. For me, it's also building generational wealth. Building generational wealth to set our, to leave a legacy for those who are coming after us. So for your children, when you have children someday, or for those who have children, how much of a legacy you're leaving behind to your children and grandchildren as well. And that's very important here, creating generational wealth. Okay, so that's something you may reflect about. Do you think about something like that? So if you do you know how to achieve to build generational wealth? And these are the points we're gonna talk about. Think about this, some of the strategies anyone can utilize to build generational wealth. And eventually, another question is, what percentage of your income do you save monthly? All right, we're going to expand on that as well. I'm really gonna be speaking strongly about savings, paying yourself first, some of those, coming back to the financial habits. So the next question then last year is, where do you save and grow your money? All right. So I started off with saying, are you scared of money? So if you don't want to have a conversation about money where you have to ask yourself, why are you scared to have a conversation about money while we live in, especially we are in the United States of America. A lot of all the things we do, or a lot of things we do, revolve around finances. All right, and it's not a bad thing. It's just like we are utilizing money tools to live, okay, to live, help ourselves and help others. So it's just a tool. It's not necessarily a tool that going to provide happiness or things, something like that. But however, we are using a tool that exists in the marketplace, a tool that exists in our society to live in a balanced life, okay, and to live a balanced life, basically. And then where do you saving the money and growing the money? It's something you may as well as learn to do that, so we can avoid something some people call here the rat race. So we're not living for money, but we're living for life. We're living to spend time with our families. We're living to spend time with our friends and do the things that this world has to offer. Okay, so basically learning the rules of money, learning how to make money work for you versus you working for your money all the time. So let's look at what is our next slide has to offer. Okay, looking at the Black family financials. Again, the topic of today is Black money matters. Okay. These next few slides, we are going to look at about some statistics. Okay, so the statistics here, don't look at the statistics as don't interpret the statistic as if nothing positive is happening in the Black communities. So we are attaching the statistic because this country, or Black people in this country, have a history that that we can trace back, from slavery, Jim Crow, the Reconstruction period. And I'm not trying to get political here or give a historical lesson, but I'm just trying to see some of how history has influenced the Black community to at some point in time not to perform well financially. And eventually we are here trying to see not to expound on it or analyze it, but just showing a few numbers, how what's the figures here, the figure of how the Black family income, are the male and females, how much the males are earning, how much females are earning, how much our counterparts, like other communities like Caucasian or Indians and other communities are doing financially in comparison to the Black community. So the reason why we put that there, so we know, okay, when we look at the statistics, we know, okay, we can improve by proving we got just these tools. Once we utilize these tools for us individually and for our families, that make the community better. Okay, so I'm not gonna read all of them. I'm gonna let you guys have a look on the Black family income, and then we're gonna go to African American earnings we go from 1967 to 2016, and all these resources you guys can find it too on the Black demographics. If you go to the Black demographics website, blackdemographics.com website, you can see on the bottom far right side of the slide, you can Google it. You can go there. You can find all the statistics and all the studies that's been led to track how the Black community is doing financially. And this is an employment rate that I like to trace to see how been doing. And eventually we are being on the positive side. Unemployment has been going low for us, in the Black communities. And we saw it, we can look at in 2000, unemployment was all the way low. It started with, Obama came in power, the curve started going all the way up. It kept going up until Trump came in power. Unemployment keep going down. Unemployment for us keep going down and down and down. So you can see we're all the way down during the Trump administrations. Eventually went a little bit up because of COVID in 2020, and that's understandable. There was a pandemic, and everybody was just living in a dire condition situations, and that can explain that was not all over the world. And then in the next slides, we can see here the black family in poverty. Okay, so from Bush to Obama and Trump. All right, so these are just trends to see how we've performed and how probably we've used money, or money has been available to us in a black family, and that's employment. Employment brings money in, and I'm not gonna stick just to employment. Also, that's business or business ownership. How much of the black businesses have been performed, and if they performed well, that meant the community thrived and the community did well and family did well. But if they don't perform well and unemployment went all the way high, and that's also meant that there's something we can look at and better and correct the curve. We can see how it went down, and we can go now with the black ownership rate remains the lowest in the United States. For I use this not because to say that there is nothing we can do. No, okay, we use this number, so it gives us, for me at least, it gives us power to say, okay, yesterday we did not do good yesterday. I'm gonna do good today, and tomorrow eventually I'm gonna do great tomorrow. So we're looking at the past, to be in the present, and then we're gonna have a bright future. And bright future, if that didn't start yesterday, we're building it today, and tomorrow it's only gonna be for us. So history is on our side. That's how you have to look at it. And now we're gonna talk individual black income. Eventually, you can look at the numbers and question yourself if you are in a workforce. All right, if you're in a workforce, how much income do you make annually? How much you make monthly? And eventually, when you start looking at your own financial freedom, when you start looking at your retirement, when you want to retire, the numbers work. The numbers are here. Actually, when you run the numbers, it helps you to actually put an age to what you want to achieve in your future. If you say, oh, I want to retire in 15 years or in 20 years, where you can just open your calculator, we can actually help you just, by calculating, and utilizing, eventually we utilize some of the financial tools that exist, and you should be able to tell by yourself if you are going to retire in 20, 15 years, or any project that you have that comes with money, finances based on your income, how much you are bringing in and how much you are spending, or how much money you are saving or investing or growing, that will determine the success of your project. Okay, so no matter what that project is, and we look at the black families living at or below poverty level. Okay, and this is I said it already. We're looking at the past to build the future. We are looking at the past to strengthen today and build a bright future. And we cannot neglect this. We gotta face everything that we're not doing well. We always have to have the courage to face that. And that's the advantage that we have. The advantage is to look at, okay, like you guys students, if you had let's say F grade, or you got a B grade, you strive to have A grades, where the B grade gonna help you actually to go to the A grade. And once you understand the mechanisms how you get to the A grade, then you keep it going for becoming a grade students, right? So I'm not sure. I can see you guys eventually. So now let's talk about the power that we have in the black communities. And I love this title. We say black money matters, and it really black money matters here, because in the black communities we have this power. The power that we have is translates to our buying power. So a lot of time, history may show negative sides, or are the black businesses not thriving enough, or black communities not doing well enough in comparison to some other communities. But we have to look at actually the power we have. The power we have is how we influence the economy, the world economy. And this can be, black people in the United States, black people in the islands, and black people in Africa. Okay, so there is a power that we have. Sometimes we don't know it. So once you don't know the power we have and you don't know how to utilize that power, and that's where we come up with those numbers, because we don't know actually in what basket or where actually to properly put that power, or actually have that power serve the black communities. Once we understand that we have the power, and they have the power, the financial power that's gonna help us be in the service of the communities, that's where we can we can eliminate all these negative statistics that are running around, for instance. So the blacks buying power here, it estimated at $1.5 trillion, for instance. So that's a lot of money, for instance, annually. That's us in our community, we can actually have, if the money is going towards the black communities versus going towards other communities that can empower us. And also for me, that starts with our personal financial, what I call personal financial revolutions, like being aware of your financial habits and being aware where you are putting your money. Okay, so the money can serve you, the money can serve your family, okay, and the money can also serve your communities. There is nothing wrong with it, because everybody does it. Everybody should be doing it. You gotta think about yourself. Do you guys remember when you hop on a flight, you're flying, the air hostess comes in, and the air hostess, when they are giving out the security measures, they always say, in the case of an emergency, when the mask could drop from the ceiling, and then put your life vest, blow your life vest to inflate it, and also so please, they basically say, save yourself first. So before you even help, even if you had your siblings or you had a child, they're gonna ask you to help yourself first before you help someone else. All right. So it's just a logic, because if you don't have the strength to help yourself, you may not have the strength to help somebody else. So if financially you're not set, you may not be able to build that foundations or that charity that you want to do, or whatever your financial goals that you want, how you want to contribute in the world financially. If you can have it, you can set yourself, you may be also able to help around help the communities and help everybody in the world, if that was the case. All right. And you can look at a lot more of this information in the website. They call the Minority Women Disadvantaged Business Enterprise. All right. I hope it's big enough for everybody to look at. So now let's talk about some savings and investment vehicles. All right. So financial literacy also means, what do you know about the places you put your money? What do you know about the places you grow your money, you invest your money? What do you know about the ways of saving money, and how much money do you want to save to achieve your goals? Okay, so some of the items here, I talk about checking. That just means the checking accounts. Some people save money into a checking account. Some gonna have savings accounts. Some gonna have certificate of deposit. A certificate of deposit is a specific account that you can come in agreement with your bank. They're gonna give you higher interest rates, and then you agree not to use your money for a certain period of time. And the higher the interest is gonna help you grow your money in a CD. And eventually you have IRA. I encourage you guys to do some research about all these concepts, so you learn a bit more. So we don't have a lot of time. I cannot expound on all of them. So you have Roth IRA, and you have life insurance. Understanding the power of life insurance. You guys, we are in September. September is Life Insurance Awareness Month. So do you have life insurance, or your family, or your friends? And eventually, if you're in the workforce, the retirement plan that's been many jobs offer out there is a 401k or 403b. It can be a TSP. And we talk about the index funds. That can be a IUL, that can be FIA, which is meaning fixed index day annuities. And eventually some other ways is apps based investments. in this 21st centuries, you know, if I pull out my phone with, you know, I can have different applications inside my phone where I can save my money. So basically, I encourage everybody to create create a portfolio. Create a financial portfolio that will comprise different baskets. You're putting your eggs in different baskets. And today we have many apps where you can actually save your money and grow your money. So we're gonna come to some of them. Some are black-owned applications and black-built applications. And eventually you're gonna hear about something like pension plans, you know, social security, annuities, bonds, mutual funds, things like that. For those who have kids, a lot of things, and many parents are preparing for the future of the children by putting money aside in a plan such as a 529 plan. That's for college. You know, when you get to college, instead of, you know, taking a student loan, there is money on the side that is set for you to avoid debts. And eventually, I talk about IUL and I talk about debts. Debt can be an asset as debt can be a liability. I don't recommend any kind of debt anyways. Just stay away from debt anyways. So if you acquire debt, make sure that debt can serve you as an asset. You know, transform your debt into an asset by creating an investment so you can pay it back, pay off your debt as fast as possible and utilize that debt to either, you know, create an asset. It can be, you know, have your house become your asset to build a business, any kind of business you can think about, okay? You know, food truck and, you know, real estate, things like that. And eventually we have stocks. Some ways to grow money. I'm sure you guys have heard about stocks, and I'm not a stock broker, just to let you know, it's a disclaimer. I'm just giving you some ways, some tools you have where you can, you know, save your money, grow your money. Stocks, you know, it involves risk. You know, that's the Wall Street stock market. And today, a lot of people are talking about cryptocurrency. I'm not advising you guys about you know, any of these, but I'm just saying these are the two that exist. If you were interested, please go ahead and study crypto, understand it a little bit better what it is, what's in there before you dive into it. You know, I'm not asking you guys to dive before thorough studies. Okay, you gotta understand these tools first before you put your money, invest your money into these channels. And we got real estate. We talk about real estate and taxes, understanding tax. Again, this is a disclaimer. I'm not a tax professional. I'm just asking you guys to do your best if you can take a tax workshop, you know, to understand how taxes work in the United States and how, you know, getting tax advantages and getting, you know, what kind of the different tax codes that exist for you to actually be able to handle your savings, okay, or increase your savings, or, you know, take some advantages that tax codes offer, okay? And eventually, I'm gonna end up with business options. The list is long. You can complete the list on yourself. Business options. Hey, have you sold cookies when you were young? You know, I think the Boys and Girl Scouts. If you wanna, you know, to raise some money, sometime, you know, you'll be on the corner of the street selling some cookies. That's a, you know, it's a business owner model. They, you know, always teaching. Sometime with you know, my brother and sister will be on the corner of the street or in front of the house. We'll be selling some waffles in the communities. All right. So when I teach my siblings, or I teach my my children about finances, basically we can, you know, just open, if you know, a 1 weekend or 2 weekend business, so they can actually learn how to make money for themselves and save it. We start with a piggy bank, and then I will teach them about interest rate, how money they put in a piggy bank can grow. So we strategize. Okay, you sell 2 cookies, you put money in a piggy bank. So if you were able to save it for 5 years, okay, now I'm gonna give you $1 more or $2 more. So just teaching kids basic concept of interest rates. All right, and eventually, you know, teach them about inflations. You know, because if you save your money in under the mattress, as we usually said, it's not literal, but it's just a way to say, if you're saving your money in places where you're not getting any interest rates, you're probably not gonna grow your money. That's why many people to grow their money. They're looking into stocks, they're looking into crypto, they're looking into all these vehicles where they can get some interest rates so the money can grow. So that's what we say in the beginning, like Brother Umi said in the beginning, how do we put our money to work for us versus us working for our money all the time? Because these are just tools, and these tools are there available to all of us. All right, let's see what we got in our next slide here. Please, guys, don't hesitate. Put your questions in the chat, your comment in the chat. That would be just wonderful. So this is a little pie chart. I call this a pie chart. In this pie chart, you can see in the first one, look at the ratios. When you look at the ratios in the pie chart, you have taxes, you have debts, no red, you got savings, and you got living expenses. And when you look at on the second one, you can see the differences here. And the difference here is your saving chart, your saving pie as your saving slice. I mean, that's a slice. Your saving slice has increased in in the second pie, and eventually your taxes slice has decreased in the second one, and the debt slice also has decreased, but you have kept your living expenses. So
let me ask you a question, B.
Oh yes, please.
So man, this is so much information. Thank you. I know my head is spinning almost, and I know people must be taking notes and have 1,000 questions out there. One question came up in my mind, and it's a question that students have asked me before. They were like, when I was telling them about these financial aid workshops, they're like, well, what suggestion do you have for a young person who maybe is having their first, 1 or 2 part-time jobs, or their first full-time job, and they're also renting an apartment or thinking about buying a car? What are some concrete things that you would suggest to them for managing their money on a week-by-week or month-by-month basis? Some good habits you might suggest. I know that some of the stuff you've shared so far might lead you to give us some specific suggestions on that tip.
Oh yeah, thanks for the question. The answer for one of the answers is budgeting. You gotta make a budget. There is this guy I listen to him from time to time. His name is Dave Ramsey. He speaks a lot about. He's on YouTube. He speaks about debt management. So basically, I'm gonna quote him. He say, budgeting is telling to your money where to go versus wondering where it went. So you have to budget, always track expenses. It's hard for a lot of people. It's hard to, if I ask someone, oh, you gotta try, if you spend $1, if you spend 50 cents, you have to know that you spend 50 cents. Because if you don't, you're gonna be piling, you spend 50 cents here or 50 cents over there. You bought 10 cups of Starbucks coffee, per week, versus if you taught yourself how to brew your coffee at home or tea, whatever that is, you can make your own coffee or tea, and it saves you money. So budgeting is the answer. Always track your expenses. Always know how much money you are making and how much money you're paying yourself first, how much you are saving, and then we're gonna talk about where you save, because that also matters, where you save your money. Because if you don't know where to save your money properly, and that can also become a difficult situation. It can put you in a cycle of always wondering about what your money is doing for you, and what's your next money is gonna come, or is the money that you made already is gonna actually help you achieve your goals. Is that making sense?
Yeah. So you personally, do you tend to write it down in a journal or on the refrigerator, or do you use an app or something?
Yes. So there are many tools. You can do it traditionally. Traditionally, you can definitely write it in a journal. It depends on how much money you make. If you make millions of dollars, that's a different story. If you make 6 figures, that's a different stories. But if you make you make whatever you make, you can journal it. You can today with I'm assuming everybody's using smartphones. In smartphone, in iPhone, you got numbers. You be every do yourself a review every week. If you don't do it daily, at least every week, you know, put yourself in the numbers, how much you are spending on this and that. There are apps there, like, you know, QuickBooks, for instance, one of them. You know, it allows you to track your expenses. You gotta write it down anyway. See, either you're gonna part it manually, or you're gonna be taking a snap, a picture of your receipts. So you have this application that can help you guys just by taking a picture of your receipt. Some of them are free, some of them you gotta pay for it. All right. So
budgeting sounds like one positive habit. Let's put on the other side. What is a negative habit that you see people having with money that we should avoid? What's a negative habit that you've seen?
Okay.
Especially among young people.
That is a very good question. Okay, so let's talk about let's talk about it. Give me just I think I wrote something down here for myself. So let's talk about. I'm gonna go through. If you following me, I'm gonna go about a list of negative habits. The first one: shopping when you are bored. Some people shop. You're gonna put yourself into Amazon. It's so easy. You get on Amazon, eBay, all this online shopping platform, Facebook Market Space, whatever that is. You start buying things that you don't need, or racking up your credit card debts. Get out of there. Don't be spending money on your credit card debt. That's a really bad habit. You guys already know that. Making impulse purchases. You know, if you. Sometimes you live in the moment, you don't really need ice cream, but, you know, imagine it's cold outside and, you know, you see with craving ice cream, you're probably just craving water. Just to go drink a glass of water versus go buy ice cream.
Yeah.
Okay. So shopping for starters, you know, especially when you're young, you want to buy brand stuff, you know, Nike, things like that, you know, whatever's out there, Gucci and things like that, so you can fit. Okay, that's something you can read. I love shopping thrift store. You can find a Nike pair of shoes. I love thrift stores. I go to the thrift store. I can find a $10 pair of shoes of Nike. Okay, so okay, this is just suggestion. Okay, don't do that. And stir up cash away from your emergency fund. If you build emergency fund, which everybody should be having some kind of emergency fund. If it's $1,000 or $5, whatever, 10 grand, whatever that is. But once you have an emergency fund, don't be taking money away out of your emergency fund when there is no emergency. That's not good. That's not recommended. Again, don't damage your credit score. You know, credit score is important in this country. Okay, that allows you if you want to buy your first car, your first home. So don't be damaging your credit score by not managing your debt or not paying your credit card on time. Let's not do that. Another bad habit is not saving for the future. Okay, we know, especially I told you in the beginning, the younger you are, the earlier you start saving, the better off you're gonna be. So we gotta get to a habit of saving for the future. And eventually, another bad habit is spending more than you earn. Spending more than you earn. Let's not do that. Let's do our best not to do that. That's something we can review. And the last one for me is going to be paying yourself last. We always recommend when you make money, pay yourself first. I know you got bills. Yes, you want to pay your home, your bills and things like that. But think about the percentage of your money you want to pay yourself first. If it's 5% or 10% of any income that you make, pay yourself first. All right. That's going to be that's going to be a good habit. So now let's talk about some positive. I talked about budgeting already, and I'm going to add you, please look out about living below your means, pay off debt, automate your finances. That's another way. If you have a bank account, you know you're paying these bills, make sure you can automate it. Whatever it is, just making sure automatically your money can be withdrawn from your checking account or savings account to pay off your thing. So you don't run out of what's called the deadlines. Okay, that can, when you pay. Let's not do that. Set deadlines, automate your finances, and eventually build an emergency fund. I talk about it. That's some positive notes. Grow your money by investing. We're gonna, in some slide, we're gonna talk about how you invest, increase your deductions, track your expenses, guys. Track your expenses. Pay yourself first. I talk about it. Pay your bills early. Create a financial plan. All right. Cut expenses. Track all your expenses. If you're paying for Netflix and you're paying for for cable TV. How many movies are you watching per month? You gotta track that. So cut on expensive on things you're not using regularly. Okay, look for deals. Okay, be savvy, be a savvy shopper. Okay, and make more than a minimum payment on your credit card. So, all right, those are some of the great habits to have.
Yes. So then, moving from habits onto resources, what are some places you would suggest our audience members, our young folks at CSU Monterey Bay, the Center for Black Student Success Family, where should they consider looking to learn more about finances or for tools to help them actually manage their finances? What are some resources you recommend?
I have it all for you guys in my my slides. Resources. Here we go. In resources here, we can look at what we said, the Black Wall Street. It's an application. If you go there, just download it on your phone, check it out, learn about the functionality. So we can see these are Black built. You can look at on the BlackRock Insight. There are a lot of suggestions there on different financial options for you. And eventually there is Capway. That was this is by Sheena Allen. This is a Black woman who created this application, Capway, just all about financial management, debt management, and all financial options that you have. This application you can access for you to have on your phone. And eventually, for those who are not necessarily Black owned, these are kind of famous out there. It's Acorns. These are the things I have for myself. Acorns, basically when you can set your credit cards or your debit cards that you utilize for Acorns, and then it rounds up some of it rounds up your dollar, whatever you're spending on your shoppings, and then it puts it in your financial portfolio. You can set it as if you want to invest aggressively or conservatively. That's all up to you. All the generations may want to be a little bit more conservative, but when you're young, you can go, a little bit more aggressive, so you can capture dividends in the markets. And you have the investor applications. That's also something you can have for yourself. There is Stash, there is Ally, there is Vanguard. Vanguard is an application, but it's also a huge financial firm like Fidelity. Okay, but you can actually utilize these tools to open, like if you want to open a Roth IRA, you don't necessarily need a traditional financial advisor. Today, a lot of this financial thing is so accessible, you can do it by yourself. You can open your Roth IRA through Vanguard and start sucking your money there. You have at least $6,000 a year to invest in a Roth IRA. You may as well as look at how much money that was playing. And these are the accounts like your Roth IRA. These are tax-free accounts. Tax advantage. You pay taxes upfront, and then when if you go $1 million, $2 million there, that's all tax-free. Okay, these are all legal. And eventually you have Robinhood. Okay, Robinhood, everybody probably know about it. There was a scandal about Robinhood with GameStop or something like that a few months ago. So Robinhood, these are all stocks. You can go for stocks, buy stocks just like you go shopping. Stocks are just shares, companies' shares. So basically you become an owner of a company, part owner of the company by buying shares. So you go Robinhood and look at ETFs, which means the exchange trade fund. ETF is it's stocks, but more in a basket. So you have a basket where inside a basket there are more stocks versus buying individual stocks. You can look at ETFs with Vanguard, with Fidelity, and also with you got Webull. Webull is pretty much close to Robinhood, but Webull gives you more analytics, more a lot of market trade. And also there is a place on Webull where there is more interactive. People make comments and things like that. It's almost social media or financials. So those are some of the options, but eventually there are a lot of them. And the last one is books. We have to, unfortunately, not just rely on social media. We gotta read books, because a book is a lot of books have been thoroughly researched. Someone has spent time, hours and hours, researching about contents and putting in one thing called book. So it's more reliable. It's been edited. It's been it's like you write your essay, your paper. You know how much time, many hours you spend. So let's write books. This book one here, I just recommending this. But if you go on Amazon, you go on online, you should have books about finance. You're gonna find all kind of resources. But these are the one I recommend. And please, if you utilize these tools, you don't need a lot of them. You can just pick up one or two and implement. I say don't read books, use books. I'm gonna say that again. Don't read books, use books. Okay, let's use books. So Destroy Student Loan Debt here by my brother Anthony O'Neill. He also has a YouTube channel. You can follow him on YouTube. He has this podcast. And we have this sister, Tiffany Aliche, Get Good with Money. This is a New York bestseller book right here. Get Good with Money. A simple title, just as simple as that. Get Good with Money. So check out the book, read about it. Or the famous one, another famous one, it's a classic. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. It teaches you pretty much, they have even exercises in the book, like how you actually guide you step by step on how you're gonna be, good with your money. And read The Color of Money, black banks and the racial wealth gap. So they have resources out there. You can read that book. It's important. It takes you touch a little bit on the political. Look at how we here, where we were yesterday, where we are today, and where we're going tomorrow. All right. And again, another classic, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. The poor dad is not poor because he was poor. He's an educated, highly educated person who didn't know a lot about money. Just like I say once, hey, I have degrees in finances. But when, you know what, guys? I was taught how to save the world, but not how to save myself, because you're going to see a lot of financial measures who know about economics and everything like that. But when it comes to personal finances, many schools don't teach that. So please,
Byb, I wanna open it up to some questions from the audience.
Yes, please.
Let them begin to pick your brain a little bit.
Okay.
Let's see what's the first question we can pull out of the hat. So, what kind of services do you offer if we wanted to work with you? Comes from Becca.
Oh yeah, that's a great question. I work in my firm. We work with families with their financial needs. So basically, if someone was interested in retirement, I'm gonna show them the retirement options. If they were interested in annuities, I greatly offer annuities and 401k rollover. I present the pros and cons in the 401k plans, and then once they see it, the people they understand it, and we show them a fixed annuities. I also offer index funds. Index fund, I'm strong in protecting money. I'm not strong in losing money. Even if I told you about the stock market, I don't invest in the stock market like that. I protect my money. So index fund, I'm strong on index funds. So you capture the high scale market of the high scale gains of the markets, and you never lose your markets. So index fund basically, no matter what happens in the market goes down, you never lose money. As it sounds, what you say, how you sell it. It sounds too good to be true, but it is true because it's been around for the next 200 years, 300 years. Families, all the families, like the Rockefellers, the big names who create generational wealth, they use index funds. So I'm strong in index funds, and I offer life insurance because I understand the important life insurance. I always ask people, don't look at life insurance as, I don't know how, however, if it was taught you negatively, please, there is so much power in life insurance. I'm not talking about traditional life insurance. I'm talking about life insurance with living benefits and cash value and index strategy, that like a whole life or, universal life or index universal life. You can create generational wealth through that. And it's not a joke, guys. It's not a joke. And I'm strong on that. You can set yourself free, your family free. It's just amazing. What else do I offer? I offer mutual funds. I don't have a Security 7 license, but however, in my firm, my colleagues, people in my firm have the Security 7 license. So I'm able to leverage them to help any family So until I have my security license, so I can talk about it. So, okay. So yeah, financial services, that's my, that's where I'm at.
Yes, yes. At this point, as we start to come to the end of our time, I want to invite people to put in the chat what of the many subjects, which of the many subjects Byb Bibene covered with us this evening would you like to have a more intensive um, workshop about? Whether about more specifics of budgeting, whether about the different kinds of accounts, IRAs, et cetera, et cetera. What are some of the things you'd like to dive deeper in? Let's just take the last few minutes to put those things in the chat so we at CBSS can take note and serve you in that way. And so that
Yes.
Mr. Bibene and other financial experts could dig deep in their bag to bring stuff for us.
Yes,
go ahead,
please.
Byb.
Yes, please. I know it's been a lot of information. Each of its item is a course on its own. All right. Each of these item is a really course on its own. There is all breakdown to go for. If it was whatever that was, IRA, retirement, there is it's a all session just for the one items. Okay, but this is an overview for you to know there are options for you. You don't ever want to feel lost, and you can create wealth actually. And this I'm ending you with this economic justice. I like the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay, because I'm assuming everybody know about Martin Luther King Jr. The civil rights and the civil rights movements, but a lot of people remember Dr. King just as the civil rights activist. But and people remember about I Have a Dream speech. But a lot of people don't remember about this work about money. He did a lot of work. There is a link up there. It's not that clear where you can read something about, some of the things he spoke about money in the communities. And this work is speech about economic justice. You can see, but I'm going to read it. This is money in its proper place is a worthwhile and necessary instrument for a well-rounded life. But when it is projected to the status of a god, it becomes a power that corrupts and an instrument of exploitation. When men arrive at the point of making money a god, they become more concerned with that they can get out of society than with what they can give to society in terms of service. When men bow down and worship at the shrine of money, they are being deprived of their most precious endowments, the possibility of living life in its fullest and its endless beauty. Okay, I love this quote just to make like every time you make money, there has to be a balance and purpose, okay, to serve. And eventually him talking about money also encouraging the communities to actually have a better relationship with money to serve the people in the community. Okay, so that's just for me, it's a ramification to financial literacy. Financial education, it's well needed. So, we talk about it. You don't need to spend money when you don't need to spend it to. Make it different. Know your needs and know your wants. Okay, know your needs and your wants. So it's important.
Yes, sir. Mr. Byb Bibene, we here at the Center for Black Student Success, thank you and salute you. Thanks for being here with us and sharing this important information. You're going to note the requests that come up about further explorations. Thank you very much, Matondo.
Yeah, Matondo. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I hope to be back and just keep sharing and keep building the communities. We got to do it. Only together we can do this. And it starts with you, it starts with me, and then millions of us.
Yes, yes. I also want to thank all of our viewers, wherever you are on campus, really at CSU Monterey Bay or at home throughout California and the world. We appreciate your being here too. I want to thank the whole CBSS family. Also, follow us on IG. We're putting up a lot of thought-provoking material, information about upcoming events. For example, tune in on October 28th, another Thursday, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. I'll be talking with a great author, Dr. Tiana Paschel, a professor of sociology and African American studies at UC Berkeley. She's written some books about Black political thought, Black political action in Brazil, Afro-Brazilian culture, in Colombia, Afro-Colombia, where we actually have I think the first Black woman presidential candidate running right now. And Tiana Paschel will talk to us about Black politics, of course, in our own United States of America. So join us. Also, if you can, donate. Your contributions help CBSS continue our programming, keep doing our work to support Black students at CSU Monterey Bay. Until next time, thank you very much. Over and out. Good night.